Good morning, everyone. I am Carlo J. F. Ruiz, and I am tasked to report about the four topics: action research, advocacy, community communication, and communication for technology transfer in agriculture, or CTTA. Let's talk about the first four approaches or domains in communication for development. So the first one is action research. I am sure that you've already conducted research before, and with action research, it is an approach to undertaking and studying communication initiatives in development as part of the social sciences. And since development faces practical concerns of people, action research is actually the most appropriate uh, mode for us to use. It is defined as a type of applied social research differing from other varieties in the immediacy of the researcher's involvement in the action process. This actually aims to contribute both to the practical concerns of people in an immediate problematic situation and to the goals of social science by joint collaboration with mutually acceptable ethical research framework. Action research is where the public and researchers or experts actually involved in the process of changing or developing the system. And just like any other research, action research follows these 6 steps. The first one is analysis. The second one is fact finding or the data gathering. And then after gathering data, it proceeds to conceptualization and then planning, execution, and finally more fact finding or evaluation. This actually proceed in a spiraling circle, which means it's on a loop where after evaluation it goes it the researcher could go back to analysis and then follow the steps again. Action research, in essence, is the application of the scientific method in dealing with social problems with the aim of promoting people's liberation and growth. If you are if you're working rather with the Department of Education, there actually encourages teachers, just like me, a public school teacher, to conduct action research to practically find interventions and solutions to our daily problems. I have here an example from teacher PH. So one of an example of an action research is improving mathematics performance through the use of differentiated instruction of grade 4 Ginto in elementary school. And then the second one is ang epekto ng paggamit ng cellphone ng mga mag-aaral ng baitang 10 sa mataas na paaralang pambansanang. So these are actually good topics to take if you're conducting action research. But uh, we also believe that development communication is best studied in action or as action research since it deals with a more practical problems which we face every day. Now let's proceed to our second topic, which is advocacy. But before we proceed, here are some of the inspiring advocacies in the country. Project Smile, which supports and empowers differently abled people. We also have the Gay Agenda, which advocates safe spaces for the members of the LGBTQ plus community. The third one is Love Yourself, which helps spread HIV awareness. You may actually find this familiar since it is one of the advocacies of the Miss Universe organization. Give PH aims to provide children with their needs to keep them in school. And then for the last in my presentation, we have Fund the Forest, which aims to restore the Yangil tribe and provide them livelihood, fight climate crisis, and create a new oasis for wildlife. These are actually just some of the uh, the number of advocacies that are in the country. So by definition, an advocacy is the organization of information into an argument to be communicated through various interpersonal and media channels with a view to gain political and social leadership acceptance. It is persuasive communication for or against an issue or concern, since mostly they're spreading awareness for their cause. Their major audience or leaders and funding agencies or even decision makers. Typically, they go for decision makers or people who decides for their organization for them to ask for support. So if they're going to ask the decision makers themselves, they would directly be having the answers whether they'll be supported or not. The main purpose of advocacy is to generate support. And when we say support, it could be through funding, financially, or other forms of resources, just like gaining volunteers and other support. Wide acceptance of a project is also a cause that is important uh, in advocacy. And since mostly they are into communicating with other people, interpersonal communication is a vital key in advocacy initiatives. Mediated communication is also often used as supplement and as a message reinforcement. Now we're ready for the third topic, which is community communication. It is a process of social interaction in small groups using interpersonal and or indigenous or small media. This definition is actually coined by the College of Development Communication during a strategic planning workshop in 1993. So the interpersonal and or indigenous small media utilized in community communication include CATS or the Community Audio Tower systems, wherein CATS uses public address technology, low-powered radio broadcast, cable television, puppetry, audiovisual media used in group settings, community theater, and folk media and expressions. It is highly participatory since it involves the community in planning, producing, and evaluating messages. It actually unites the community and gives the community mindset. And it goes beyond the proximity of people in geographic locations. It may be by affinity based on interest or some cause or issue. So before with CATS, they're using it before the technological advancement where the internet is used. But now community could now go beyond the geographical location of people who believes at a certain cause. So even with the use of internet, people could actually go global wherein they could engage to international engagement, wherein they believe in the same cause. Just like the lean post. Here's an example. As it is a space organized by the editors of the Lean Enterprise Institute Incorporated, which I quote, according to Shook 2013, to share experiences and learning, short stories of successes and failures, ideas and lessons learned, complaints, and kudos. So actually, it is a global platform where people could actually share their experiences. And lastly, we have communication for technology transfer in agriculture. So it is a comprehensive model developed by the Academy for Educational Development, or AED, with funding from the USAID, or the United States Agency for International Development, for adjusting and transferring communicating agricultural technologies to farmers using a generic five-step process characterized as participatory, integrative, and practical. And here are the five stages. Assessment, which also pertains to the development investigation. Planning, which indicates the strategy development. Materials preparation and message delivery. Implementation and evaluation. Given the five step process, it could also be in detailed uh, nine specific steps, which include investigation, strategy, testing, production, and delivery. Reception, formative evaluation, summative evaluation, and feedback, and ongoing monitoring. An example is a study submitted by McCorkle and McClure in 1995, wherein a CTTA research uh, team conducted both Sondeo type surveys and an in-depth research among the Maori and Zamra farmers in southern Niger's Niamey and Doso departments in May of 1988. They found out through this research that agricultural technologies are new to the farmers and have recommended to improve the communication between the farmers and the researchers. So that ends my report. Thank you so much for listening. I think you're now ready to answer these questions. Question number one will be, what development communication aspect or cause would you personally choose to support? And for number two, among the four approaches that were discussed, uh, what would you choose for the cause that you have chosen? So thank you so much.